All right, guys. So let's get this rolling. First off, hopefully you guys are here. I don't know why I'm having some software issues when it comes to the live stream portion of it. So I'm not seeing comments. I'm not seeing how many people are in the stream. Maybe there's just because there's none yet, but I'm going to assume there's at least a few people in and probably saying hi to me. Hello. Unfortunately, I can't tell. Um, I will have it fixed for our next live stream, which I'm hoping we can figure out the best day and time for doing these either weekly or bi-weekly or something like that. Um, Ideally during the day or something like that. But I want to talk about some questions you guys left on our YouTube channel. I posted a video talking about, dropping some comments. That way I can answer them on the live stream. And then also talk about some of my new colors, which are all behind me, as well as some on here. Also talk about a couple new tech videos that I have shot this week, which are in the editing process. One of which is about all of the different linear blocks, all the different sizes, all the different types like rigid, semi-flex, ultra flex, that kind of stuff. So I do have a video of this coming out, so make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're not watching us on YouTube, definitely go over there. And normally that's where I answer comments on the live stream. Unfortunately, I'm just not seeing any still, but nonetheless, I want to go over some of the YouTube stuff. So here's some questions. Let's throw it up. So the first question is, do you have paint and clear that works on brake calipers? So it looks like my team already actually responded to this question, but I wanted to kind of address it a little bit better than just saying all of our paints work. So whether you're looking for spray cans, base coats, primers, clear coats, that kind of stuff, all of those are going to be brake, safe. I have customers use them. I don't know exact degrees off the top of my head, but like I've had people and me personally have done tons of engine blocks. I've sprayed turbos, I've sprayed brake calipers, I've done valve covers and all that kind of stuff. And there's no issues when it comes to those temperatures. Anything hotter, like maybe like your exhaust manifold or something like that, I probably wouldn't do. But any other things like brakes and engine components that are not quite as hot, I would say you're good to go. We've done, I don't even know, hundreds of calipers between me and customers, obviously, engine blocks, and lots of stuff that usually require high temp paint. Some paints, especially spray cans, they say they're high temp, but like in all reality, all paint is. It's just like a marketing thing. I say all paint. That's obviously not true. I'm sure there's tons of stuff that's flammable, but a large majority of paints are going to be, pretty high temp. Maybe not 500-degree plus or whatever, but pretty high temp. So hopefully that answers. So all of our spray cans, base coats, that kind of stuff are all good. Um, which I can drop a comment on the YouTube after the fact if you want to shop directly. But again, it's just thespraysource.com. All right. All right. So that one, using the Glamour Clear and the Ultra Productive Slow Hardener and the Exodus Luma 3 1.4, 1.5 tips, what PSI do you recommend for each tip size? So I'm not super familiar with the Exodus specs, other than I do know for clear, they usually, I think they recommend 22 to 29 psi, so in that range. I think 22 is what I saw on their Instagram recently. I also think that they use a 1.5 for clear and then a 1.3 for base with their guns. I know their gun's kind of a different animal compared to guns that I'm used to spraying, and that kind of stuff. I do have some, and we use them for samples all the time. But honestly, I never really look at what needle set and that kind of stuff. The guns that we use for all of our pre-sprayeds is going to be the our mini HSE, and then they're all sprayed with a 2.5, a 1.4, and at whatever PSI he is spraying at, I believe. So about 22 PSI for base, and then clear, it really depends, but usually around 35 with the mini. So every gun's going to be different, needless to say. So I can fact check and leave a comment, or maybe my team already has gotten to it. I'm looking at a screenshot of questions that I wanted to answer. But anyways, whether or not that just actually answered your question, we will drop a comment whenever we get around to it as well. So John Mattingly is, I'm building a 132 scale 516 from Tamiya. I want to paint Jet Abyss Black in your spray can. So that would be the Candy Pearl, because that's the only one that we sell. What steps would I take, and the products of yours would I need? So if you want spray cans, I would go with the Car-Rep Epoxy Black Sealer. That is given, I'm assuming that it's already smooth and that kind of stuff. So you would, sand it or scuff pad it, clean it with ideally like a light wax and grease remover, or probably, since it's plastic, probably like a spray away glass cleaner would be what I do. Ammonia free specifically. And then once it's wiped down and dry, then you would do the Car-Rep Black Sealer, because you want to have a black base underneath the Abyss. That's actually like a true black, not just like plastic black, and then after that is fully dry. Wait 30 minutes to an hour, usually closer to that hour mark, and that's after it's fully dry. So like there's no wet spots, it's not tacky, nothing, and then you wait that time, and that goes with all of our dry times on our website. And then I would do the Abyss Black. It's probably only going to need like 2 coats, to be honest, because it's black and it's going over black. You could maybe do more, but I don't think it's going to change a whole lot. And then once that's dry, I would wait again another hour or so after it's completely dry, and then spray the Car-Rep clear coat over top. I don't think we have the Car-Rep clear or the black primer in stock right now. We might have some next week. I'll have to check with my team, but if not, I know Car-Rep sells it directly on Amazon. You could grab it from there. It's a little bit more money, but you can still grab it. And then those are the 3 products that you'll really need in all reality, minus the other prep stuff. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. I definitely want to see that F16 once it's done, though. Make sure you're in our Facebook group, which is just the Spray Source Paint community, and definitely post some photos up in there. I definitely want to see that. Curtis, what PSI for a Black Widow using the Glamour Clear? So I'm going to assume you're using our 4100 Glamour Clear and not the 2100, just because 4100 I'm more familiar with, and honestly, it's more popular. So with that gun, with that gun, I would be using a 1.3 for clear. I know you didn't ask that, but I want to make sure you're using a 1.3 with the PSIs that I'm recommending. So with that gun, which is basically a SATA 5000 knockoff, I would go probably about 35-ish PSI, maybe even 37. That's usually the sweet spot for SATAs. Some people like to spray, a little lower, like 32. But me personally, when I've used SATAs, I've been right around like 35, 37 with 4100. And that's with no reducer. So that's just 4-to-1 with, the 7600 hardener. Curtis also, I'm doing a full restoration on a 95 Camaro. How much 5311 DTM primer would I need for spraying exterior and jam? So first off, I wish I would have saw this comment first, but I would say, Connor, the best thing for you to do would be grab one of our Metal Up Restoration paint kits. It includes the epoxy sealer you need. It includes the hide build you need, all the reducers, the sealer, the base coat, the clear coat, and everything in between. So I would grab that, and it also comes with a cheat sheet, which actually would answer your other question about PSI with the 4100 clear. and mix ratios and stuff like that. So that'd be the first thing I would do. But that being said, on that car, you're probably going to use 1.5 gallons of 5311 if you're using it as like a high build. And that's assuming you're going to then use, Forever Seal or a different product for sealer. So I would get, I mean, you can't go wrong with getting extra, but you're going to use probably 1.5 gallons of the 5300. Sorry, guys, that's my time card. It likes to sing sometimes, but for my employees. But yeah, so that would be my recommendation. And then Joey, I want to paint my wheelchair that's made of titanium. Will the spray paint can work on this? And what steps would I need to make sure the paint sticks? So what you would do is clean it with a wax and grease remover or a Windex or something like that, or wash it with like Dawn dish soap and water, and then dry it, obviously, wipe it all down, and then take a scuff pad, which you'll probably want either red or gray. I mean, probably closer to red since you're gonna epoxy seal it. So you'll scratch it with the red Scotch-Brites scuff pads, and then you will clean it again with probably Sprayway glass cleaner or wax and grease remover, either one. We sell both on the website now, so go grab that. And then you'll spray 1 to 2 coats of the epoxy primer, which is a sealer. So you don't sand it, you don't scuff it or anything after that point. Figure out what color you want. I think we sell black, white, and gray. So depending on what color your end result is, that's what you would do. I'm gonna just go with, you're gonna be using one of our color shifts, just that way it's easy for me to talk about it, right? So with that one, with our color shifts like Aphrodite, you would be doing the black epoxy sealer, right? Spray 1 to 2 coats depending on coverage. You want to make sure it's completely black, and then let that dry. Once it's completely dry to the touch, wait an hour, and then you'll go to the Aphrodite. You usually do about 4 coats with 5 to 10 minutes in between each coat. Basically, once it's flash dried, you can go with another coat. And then after the last coat of Aphrodite is completely dry, no wet spots, not fingerprinting, nothing like that, wait an hour, and then go with the Car Rep Clear. So it's going to be the same deal. Titanium's no big deal for epoxy. Epoxy goes directly over it. Really, just to make sure it sticks, you want to have that mechanical bond from the red Scotch-Brites. And then the epoxy, our epoxy specifically, the Car Rep spray can ones, you don't need to do any sort of adhesion promoter or anything like that. Even on plastics, actually, they recommend not to, because it has adhesion promoter built into it. So hopefully that helps. Definitely, like I told the other guy, definitely join our Facebook group if you're not already in there. I would love to see that. And if you have any questions along the way, me, my team, and tons of other people that are very well versed in our products are in there. All right, so Lamies 4. No, but literally just Lamies. I paint guitar and drums and find when I'm using metal flake, 3 coats of clear isn't enough to fully cover the flake before sanding. Could I use HP 2010 to reopen the recoat window? So I have a few questions there. What clear are you using? What size flake are you going over? And then, yeah, that's basically the only questions. To answer your question though, no, definitely don't use 2010 like that. That's not its designed use case, because you're not going to get that actual chemical bond. It's really just helping it stick. If you're out of the recoat window, wait and then scuff it, or ideally sand it flat. But otherwise, if you're still seeing the flake bumps, then what you would do would be gray scuff pad, because that's the equivalent to about 600 wet. But obviously it's going to go over those flakes without cutting it. So yeah, gray Scotch-Brite, and then clean it with wax and grease remover, and then spray a couple more coats. That being said, you should probably try our 2104 clear coat to bury the flakes. I'm also curious how you're spraying the flakes, whether it's like bound in a base coat, if you're dry flaking, or if you're doing it in clear coat. But that would be an interesting thing to try. A lot of people have good if you're doing like not like graphics and you're flaking out the whole thing, one good way of doing flake would be our CC3000, which is the candy carrier. Throw the flake into the CC3000, spray that and then wet on wet it with 2104. But again, I mean, a lot of clears, especially on small projects like that, you can do more than just 3 coats anyways. But hopefully that helps. And like I said, we have all those products on thespraysource.com as well. Forgot how much I have to talk on these things. So there's not a ton more questions that I can really answer over here. But we can start talking about some of the new products, some of the new colors. Hopefully you guys are commenting and enjoying the live stream so far. I'm really sorry I can't be answering you guys. I'm just not seeing the comments and stuff for whatever reason. But one thing in the comments I want you guys to start discussing, and I'm probably going to do a poll over on the Spray Source Paint Community Facebook group. What time and what day is going to be ideal for a live stream? I would like to keep it in the workday. If it has to be evening, maybe we can figure something out, whether it's, you know, more recorded videos rather than a live stream Q&A, you know, during work, during the day, during live stream, depending on what you guys consensus says. But anyways, you can talk about it there, but I'll also be doing a poll. So if you're not in the group, go join it. But first off, I want to talk about some linear blocks. So I, this week, recorded a video talking about all the different linear blocks and why certain ones bend more than others and that kind of stuff, you know. So not every block can do this, right? Not every block you need to do that either, though. So I talk about the differences and what the different sizes do, when to use some of the sizes, when to use rigids, when to use semi-flex, when to use ultra-flex, that kind of stuff. So really cool video. I hope you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel and see that video next week. I already recorded it. It's in the editing process. Not sure what day it's going to debut, but one day next week for sure. Otherwise, I wanted to talk about some of my new colors, which I'm sure you guys have seen if you're subscribed to anywhere, basically on socials or email or text or that kind of stuff. We still have a pretty huge sale going on right now of our, like, it's a mystery variety pack. So we have 25 up to 25 colors. You can get as little as just 5. 25 sample size colors, which are already reduced. So you can just throw it in your airbrush or your spray gun and spray whatever little project you want to do, or samples or that kind of stuff. It's a really good deal. If you get 25, I know it's like almost 70 something % off, because you're getting almost a gallon of paint for, I think it's 190 bucks for 25. So you're getting, you know, a gallon of ready to spray, super custom, you know, paints. You'll have some candies, you'll have some color shifts, you'll have some, you know, solids and all sorts of cool new colors that we came up with. And then I did it as a variety pack because people love my mystery boxes, and I kind of wanted to try it. And I'm curious your thoughts as well. Like, would you guys rather be able to choose the colors that's in your pack, or do you like the whole mystery aspect of it? Obviously, with the mystery aspect, I can sell them for a little bit cheaper, purely because most of the time the colors are from, you know, leftovers or something like that. Say, you know, we accidentally mixed a gallon of tinted blue, but the customer ordered tinted purple, you know. So we would then make a bunch of ready to sprays that go in mystery boxes or mystery variety packs, you know, with that 1 gallon of tinted blue. So just food for thought. I'm curious what you guys think. I am debating, or I am working on making a DIY bundle, or like, you know, a build a bundle, I guess is what you can call it, for some painted speed shapes. So like you can pick, you know, 5, 10, 15, or however many, and get a little bit more of a discount, and you can mix and match and make your own bundle. Also thinking about doing that for samples at a smaller discount than that mystery bundle, obviously, but that way you guys can do that as well. And I'm curious your thoughts on other items that I could potentially do that with, like maybe linear blocks, you know, have each individual and then you can mix and match, and depending on how many you get, would maybe be a different discount. That could be cool. Obviously, Linear has a bunch of bundles already, but could be cool to be able to make your own because not everyone needs, say, an 18-inch rigid, but they want the semi-flex and the ultra flex, and they don't want to cart it all separately, right? Anyways, wanted to talk about, we launched I think a little over 50 new colors, which is crazy. I've been working on them for, well over a year. And I have even more still to come, which I have a couple here that are not released yet. And I'll talk about why, because I know you guys have seen them on socials, why they're not released yet, and about a normal timeline that you guys could maybe expect to see them. But while I'm here, I want to show a few of the colors that I've been teasing, which I know for whatever reason, the live stream video is not the best, but Opal Cherry is one of the ones you guys have been loving. It is deeper, obviously, in person, a little bit more candy-like and a little darker in color also. And then Bloodstain, which was not in the most recent release. I actually just added it to the website a few days ago. For whatever reason, the product images just didn't upload, so it never got turned on. But Bloodstain is, and again, it does no justice on this camera, but Bloodstain is sweet, which is now on the website. You can buy it as paint or as a sample, or whatever you guys want to do. But some of the other colors is like Indiglo Moon, which is a awesome blurple color, which this one's been out for a little bit longer. Yeah, see, this does no justice. I'm going to stop showing you guys on this camera at least. But tons of new colors. Go check them out. They're all discounted right now. I think up to about 30% depending on the color. Definitely go grab them. Shops, I'm working on a installer program. So you guys will get a little bit larger discounts on colors that I make just because I can. And then some discounts on other items, as well as included skip the line. You'll be added to my upcoming installer map. So working on that, working on these specifics, like, minimum orders and like that kind of stuff, just to make sure it makes sense for everyone, especially if I'm going to be spending money on advertising for shops that use my stuff, right, on Google and Bing and that kind of stuff. So a bunch of things that I'm working on. Let me know your thoughts on it, what you would like to see in an installer, like professional account. And yeah, I mean, obviously I want to make sure it makes sense for both of us. And then just a reminder also, and I know I've already said it a few times, but like people have been really taking advantage of it, and I personally love seeing them, and I know everyone likes seeing them because, like, I think if someone orders a painted sample, like they're buying usually at least 3, which is really cool. So like most of the time it's, you're down to pinks, right? You go on the website and you grab, Opal Cherry, you grab Roxy over here, whatever. You buy a few, or greens or blues or whatever, right? And then hopefully you decide, and then you come back and buy a vehicle kit. And I have been enjoying that, and I know a lot of people get a lot of value out of it. And then shops, especially, I've seen, and I'm sure there's people here commenting about it now, but people that are shops that have samples on the wall, similar to what you guys are seeing here, for customers to see in person and touch and go bring outside and see it in the shop lights and that kind of stuff. They get a higher conversion, meaning you're booking more jobs for more custom cool stuff. Everyone likes that. Especially these types of colors, you can mark up a little bit more to customers because they're a little bit more difficult to spray, or you have to be more of a custom shop. Like a normal collision shop probably wouldn't be okay spraying this on a full vehicle, right? So you get to flex the muscles. Plus, it's also a little bit better for your social media too. But nonetheless, the next things are all of our new colors now have vehicle kits made out, meaning no matter what size, whether you're using or trying to paint a motorcycle all the way up to, like a big Silverado or something. we have kits for all the new colors as well as a lot of other colors. I think we're up to a little over 250 colors currently, with all the different sizes and all the options, whether it's a restoration or if it's a scuff and shoot. So go check that out. Awesome for the DIYer. It comes with a cheat sheet, which has all like some tips and tricks for spraying as well as mixing, and using and setting up your gun and that kind of stuff, and then a step-by-step guide as well, especially for the scuff and shoot. So go grab those, and then for the professional, it also makes estimating jobs and then buying product for jobs super fast. I mean, basically one click, and then you're ready to go. No need to have someone up front ordering product for you, I guess, right? But anyways, the next things I wanted to talk about was, I'm working on a candy comparison video. So it's already recorded. It's just, I know it's going to be a little bit behind when it comes to recording aspect. So what that video is going to be about, and I think it's very important, not just for our candies and our products, but like in general, right? It's going to be good for the industry because no one really talks about the differences in why and when to use each, benefits, ground coats, everything basically. So I take all three of the different candies that we sell, which is going to be our concentrates, our 2K candies, and then our Candy Pearl base coats, right? And I talk about the differences between each one, and use cases, especially when I recommend using them and when I don't recommend using them, different ground coats, and why ground coats are super, super important, especially with a candy. What you can get away with when you're spraying them, each type, and what you definitely can't. And yeah, definitely make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. And that one should be, if it's not next week, which it probably won't be, it'll be the next week that I drop that video. It should be a pretty lengthy video, me actually spraying it, showing you on samples, talking about them, and just kind of just trying to clear the air when it comes to candies, because that's the talk of the town. We all know that everyone wants a candy paint job, but they really don't know if they actually do want a candy paint job. So that's kind of what I want to explain and talk about and that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. I think I've answered at least most of the questions, if not all of them, on YouTube, at least all of them at the time of my screenshot that I took. But one way or another, I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to see the comments here. I wanted to run this one kind of short anyways, considering it's Friday night anyways, but I want to figure out, and I know I talked about it already, I want to figure out the best time and day for a live stream, and see if I can make it work for, for my schedule, basically. Or maybe it's better for me to record these types of videos and then they can be a little bit more, edited, and I can have pop-ups and stuff like that, but either way, drop some comments, definitely subscribe to YouTube and join our Facebook group if you're not already. I appreciate you guys. Any other questions, drop down here or on the other video. I mean, you're here now, drop it here. I will answer them as I can via text. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen, I have my own Instagram and TikTok, and Facebook, that I just started, called Tommy Knows Paint, or just Tommy TSS, depending on what platform. Basically, what I've been doing is showing mixing videos and samples and responding to people's comments. So like, a good example, I did a video showing Opal Cherry over there, and someone asked to see it outside. So I brought it outside, replied to his comment with the video. It was really fun. It gives me, it tells me what colors you guys want to see. That way, I'm spending my time on colors that, you guys are interested in, rather than, doing any of my other 2,000 plus colors. So definitely do that. I really appreciated it. Ideally do it on TikTok. That way I can respond in TikTok. I did do it on Instagram as well. Facebook doesn't have that feature. But anyways, if you're not already, go follow me over there on TikTok, Instagram/Facebook. I know it's Tommy Knows Paint with underscores on Instagram, Tommy TSS on Facebook, and then Tommy Knows Paint over there on TikTok as well. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I wish it wasn't going to be raining here, but it's going to be. But hopefully you guys find something fun to do. I will hopefully see you guys live next week. All right, see you guys.